What's up, you guys? It's Sussan Mourad here with Clevver News, and if you're a long-time Britney Spears fan, helping Britney fight in her long-running conservatorship case, you're not alone. This week, fans have began rallying behind one of our favorite pop icons again in what is known as the Free Britney movement. Over the past couple of weeks, fans have grown concerned over Britney's recent social media posts, bringing many online to believe that she is subtly asking for help and is in a bad mental state. Under Britney's conservatorship run by her father, Jamie Spears, Britney has zero control over her assets, money, decisions, and even visitors can be restricted following a series of very public meltdowns back in the early 2000s. If you're not familiar with a conservatorship, here's the situation. A conservatorship is a legal guardianship where representatives can be appointed when a court agrees that an individual can't make their own decisions. As you probably are aware, Britney had a very serious and public meltdown in 2007 when she was photographed shaving all her hair off. In 2008, she was admitted to a psychiatric ward twice, and her father asked a judge for a temporary conservatorship, which was later made permanent that year. Since a judge ruled in favor of this conservatorship, Britney's dad and an attorney whom she did not get to choose still now allegedly have control of every single decision Britney makes in 2020 as a 38-year-old woman. This ongoing conservatorship has always been concerning and a bit fishy to fans, since both Britney and her father's relationship has always been on the rocks, with Jamie telling Us Weekly last year, "Me and my daughter's relationship has always been strained." One post in particular is being widely shared on social media that breaks down Britney's current state, calling it a quote, rabbit hole, and to buckle up. The post goes into detail about why Britney has always tried to share with the world that she is controlled and treated like a product, with examples from her songs such as Lucky, Overprotected, My Prerogative, Circus, and more. Instagram account Saint Hoax has also shared a detailed post on the Free Britney movement and alleges that Britney is not allowed to sing in her regular voice because her record label doesn't like it, as they allege her real voice is similar to Christina Aguilera's, and at the time they were both on the Mickey Mouse Club and about to release their debut albums at the time. The statement shared by Saint Hoax also added that, quote, "They had her voice retrained to sing in the baby voice we all know today because they believed it would sell more." Instagram account Dirty2000s also added that singing in this fake voice has been unhealthy and is destroying her voice, which is why she is known for lip syncing. Saint Hoax's Instagram post went on to recount her series of meltdowns, her hospitalization, and pointed out that Britney immediately hit the road to promote her new album Circus shortly after, as well as other career moves, saying, quote, "2 months after her hospitalization, she did a guest appearance on How I Met Your Mother. She later dropped the Womanizer video and began promoting Circus with a worldwide tour that grossed $131.8 million. They continued to say, quote, "A conservatorship is meant for people with mental health issues or decaying health, most likely grandparents or people with actual dementia, etc. They are meant for people who literally cannot take care of themselves. If she's so unwell, why did she start working right away?" These same points have been raised by news outlets, as seen in this video also shared by Saint Hoax.
And while this would seem reasonable if we were discussing an elderly adult with something like dementia, it has never really made sense for many, for a hard-working woman in her 20s and 30s.
So with respect to the basis of Britney's ongoing conservatorship, it was shared by Instagram account Dirty2000s that Britney's father requested for it to become permanent due to her, quote, "allegedly having early onset dementia in her 20s. They went on to say that it was passed and Britney's father has now been her conservator for 12 whole years. In a 2008 documentary titled Britney for the Record, Britney details her feelings on her situation.
I wasn't under the restraints that I'm under right now, with all the lawyers and doctors and people analyzing me every day and all that kind of stuff. Like, if that wasn't there, I'd feel so liberated and feel like myself. It's bad. I'm sad.
And now today, many fans have become concerned for Britney over her latest social media posts, expressing that they think she seems a bit off and are concerned for her safety. Some fans have gone to point out that they believe Britney's unusual videos on Instagram are due to the fact that she is so restricted in her personal life that all she's allowed to do is make videos. And furthermore, many believe that her posts may contain messages seeking help for her situation. And with the arrangement between the two extended until at least July 22nd, fans are taking it upon themselves to advocate for Britney, which means the Free Britney movement is full steam ahead. In addition to fans advocating for Britney's freedom, her mother Lynn Spears is also taking action. According to court documents filed Monday, Lynn Spears is asking to receive special notice on all matters pertaining to Britney's SJB revocable trust, and to be included as an interested person in any hearings about the trust. This isn't the first time Lynn has tried to get involved in the conservatorship restraints on her daughter. Back in May 2019, Lynn requested to be notified of all matters pertaining to Britney's conservatorship. A source told Entertainment Tonight at the time that her mum has tried at different points over the years to have some sort of say. Many fans have also taken to Twitter to decode some of Britney's messages and believe that she is secretly asking for help, with one fan saying, "This isn't a coincidence anymore. Britney Spears is sending messages for help. #FreeBritney." The fan went on to claim that there is no proof that Britney ever had a mental illness and that doctors diagnosing her may have been paid off. Others have shared their outrage on Twitter and Facebook through the Free Britney hashtag, with one fan writing, "So you agree, a 38-year-old Britney Spears shouldn't be under a 12-year-long abusive conservatorship put on for her mistakes she made in her mid-20s, resulting in a loss of rights, income, and custody of her children." Another fan shared a post that Britney's son Sean Preston liked. The post reads, "Britney Spears' oldest son Sean Preston liking a post in support of Free Britney back in March. Read this post and tell me your heart doesn't hurt for her. As if you needed any more evidence that the allegations behind this movement are very real and need to be brought to light." Someone else shared, "Britney Spears' life has been heavily controlled by the media and has had devastating effects on her relationships and mental health. She's still not being treated properly, and it's evident lately as she fights for her right. #Free Britney." Even the industry watchdog account Diet Prada has shared the Free Britney movement, adding, "I know some people's instincts might be to not take this seriously or laugh because the world has made a joke of her existence to a certain extent. But this is a woman who is denied access to her own children, finances, and any control over her own life. The law is corrupt, and so are the middle-aged men who are ruining a thriving, successful woman's life. Britney has a court hearing coming up on July 22nd. Check our stories for a swipe up of actionable items you can do to help free Britney." And as part of the movement, more than 134,000 fans have now signed a petition asking for Britney to have the right to hire her own lawyer to help her get out of the conservatorship. And recently, a photographer named Andrew Gallery is sharing an intimate letter that Britney allegedly wrote to him regarding her conservatorship and her previous marriage to Kevin Federline. Andrew took to his TikTok to share the letter that Britney allegedly had written and explained that he was under contract back then, but now feels compelled to speak out.
What's up, everybody? I've been seeing all the stuff about the Free Britney movement, and I feel compelled to say something about this now.
He added that the original letter was destroyed by her conservators, but he was able to make a copy. In the letter, Britney wrote in the third person, calling herself a completely different person compared to her troubled self that is seen in the media. She added, "What happened to Britney was a year ago, and people need to get with the times," referencing her public dilemmas in 2007 and 2008. Britney then went into detail about her divorce from her then-husband Kevin Federline, revealing that she was forced to divorce him and give up custody of their 2 sons together, writing, "As for Kevin saying Britney divorced him, she was forced to by her lawyers because she went to visit him in New York and he wouldn't see her and the children, and her lawyers said if she doesn't divorce him, he's gonna do it himself." She added, "No one knows the truth. Her behavior when her children got taken away because of her locking herself in the bathroom is understandable considering her friend at the door kept telling her, 'The cops are leaving, don't worry, stay in the bathroom.' She was lied to and set up. Her children were taken away and she did spin out of control, which any mother would in those circumstances." Last year in April, Britney addressed her fans as speculation, saying, "I wanted to say hi because things that are being said have just gotten out of control. Wow, there's rumors, death threats to my family and my team, and just so many crazy things being said. I am trying to take a moment for myself, but everything that's happening is just making it harder for me. Don't believe everything you read and hear." She added, "My situation is unique, but I promise I'm doing what's best at this moment. You may not know this about me, but I am strong and stand up for what I want. Your love and dedication is amazing, but what I need right now is a little bit of privacy to deal with all the hard things that life is throwing my way. If you could do that, I would be forever grateful. Love you." There's a lot to unpack, and everything we've covered here, in addition to a lot more, is why the Free Free Britney movement is in full swing and getting major media attention. This is reportedly the extremely complicated situation of Britney Spears' life and conservatorship. We hope Britney is able to find the freedom and liberation she deserves. And if you want to stay up to date on all things Britney Spears, you can click right over here for another Clevver video. Then be sure to keep this conversation going down in the comment section below by letting me know all of your thoughts as it relates to Britney and her conservatorship. I'm your host Sussan Mourad, thanks for tuning in and I'll catch you later. Bye guys.